What's up, hockey fans? Welcome to another episode of Pod Snipe Celly. He's Joel. I'm Dan. Joel, how you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm good. I don't know if the camera can tell, but I'm tan.
So, I'm sorry to cut you off. Yes, you are looking quite tan. We just got a notification that we need a premium account on X, Twitter, to do live broadcasts there. So I guess we're only going live on Facebook and YouTube tonight. Yet another reason to, if you're not already watching on YouTube, join us over there. That's the ultimate place to watch right now. So
It really is, and that's why I advertise it, and I advertise it on Twitter. So click on our YouTube link if you're on Twitter. If you're trying to watch on Twitter, just go to our page and basically tell Elon Musk to fuck off and go somewhere else.
Mark is already joining us on YouTube, saying that he can't wait any longer for this madness to happen. He knew tonight was going to be a fun night.
Mark, your life is never meaningless. Your life is not meaningless.
All Rank the Blank show. Mark, we love you. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get this rig rolling. And in fact, Joel, before we get too far into things here, just to showcase what kind of laid back, fun show night we're going for tonight, I thought we would break out the big guns here and tap into the whiskey, have a nice little pour, get relaxed. I've actually never tried this one before. This is a Charlotte Special. It's a Rua American Single Malt Whiskey, brewed maybe 5 miles from our apartment. Like, it's close. So
I like it. I too have poured myself a little whiskey, as everybody who watches us knows. Me and Dan are whiskey heads.
What's the aging on yours? This was a 4-year aged.
So mine, here is my bottle. I'm gonna have you play a guessing game, but we're whiskey heads. We're also metal heads. Blackened cask strength. It's a blend of whiskeys finished in black brandy casks. It's like a remaster. Okay. It's a limited edition, so it's a special one. While only 2 people are watching, that's okay.
Remember, this is one. We don't have Twitter up at the moment, and that pulled a bunch, and then everybody's switching over to Twitter and Facebook to YouTube, so it'll take a minute for those numbers to pop in.
Yes. So for those who don't know, this is Metallica's bourbon, and but it's not the regular bottle. I got this. My mom, my amazing mother, got me this for Christmas, so it's a limited edition. It is aged. What's the year? I want to say. Oh man, it doesn't say. Bray B Red, what's up?
Mark's got our back. He's gonna send out the link on Twitter for us.
That's our man. I don't actually see how long this one's been aged. I'd have to really. Oh no, no, doesn't say. But I wanted to play a game with you on the proof of it, since it's a cask strength, limited edition.
Yeah, cask strength is usually a bit on the stronger side than the standard distill. And given that it was, you said it was in brandy casks,
black brandy casks.
Yeah, yep. So that's gonna kick your proof up a bit. I'm gonna say, let's say 94.
You are very cold.
Very cold?
Yeah.
As in, it's even higher than that, or my? Is it triple digit proof?
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, we're in for it here. Let's say 110.
Is that your final answer? Or do you want to keep?
That'll be my final answer.
Still wrong.
Okay, where are we at?
122.
Holy!
It is 61%.
Yeah, I can do that kind of math.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's 92. So we'll see here. But my goodness, 122. Well, cheers, my friend. Let's have a fun show tonight. Cheers to all of you watching at home.
Cheers to all of you,
or wherever you happen to be watching tonight.
Woo, doggy.
This is smooth. This is one of the smoothest whiskeys I've ever tasted. That's really good.
This tastes very good, but man, I opened it, and now I'm going to have to let this bad boy age even more because it'll get even nicer and smoother. But woo! Good thing I didn't pour that much.
So for those who missed it, we had talked about this in past shows. We've kind of teased it. But this is going to be our all Rank the Blank show, save for 20 seconds of Joe Pavelski officially announced his retirement today.
Yes.
So we'll raise the glass and we'll stick tap to Joe Pavelski. Remarkable career.
Captain America.
Love Joe Pavelski.
I have Captain America. I'm immortalizing Captain America.
So Joel and I have each prepared several Rank the Blank topics for each other. Joel, do you want to ask first or do you want to guess first?
You know what? Why don't I ask first, since you're always asking me, and that's kind of the theme, and since this is kind of a one-time only, like now I'm asking you as well. I'll go first.
All right.
I'll let you riff for a hot second while I type out your deal.
Sounds good. Well, Joel, while you're typing there, Mark's saying Pavs. Here's to you and your upcoming PGA Tour golf career. Yeah, Pavelski's, from what I hear, a pretty darn good golfer, and that's kind of true of a lot of hockey players. I feel like that's the crossover is they'll play hockey in the winter and then they'll hit the golf course all summer so that they're still outside working on hand-eye coordination and timing and all that kind of stuff. Similar skill sets in some ways there. Mark saying he's so sick. Yeah, I believe it. I hear Matt Boldy of the Minnesota Wild is in a similar boat where he could go pro in golf if and when he decides to hang him up in hockey. P-Rad saying just ask any of the Vancouver Canucks players from the 2010s. Yeah, they probably had some good golf games in there too.
All right, so Dan, since you're usually the keeper of these. I could toss up the like answer to each one as you decide where they go along with. So I think I'm going to do that for you. So it'll have its own banner. All right. So without further ado, let's get these off-season shenanigans going. We're drinking. We're having a good time.
Yeah, Mark's saying the Vancouver Canucks 2011 golf trip was his favorite. Gee, I wonder why there, Mark.
Yeah, why is that?
Good times. I remember exactly where I was.
My personal favorite never mind. That's a bad memory for Mark. I was going to say 2019, but that was his golf trip. Whoops. Sorry, Mark. Hey, I was rooting for the Bruins in that series. All right.
Somebody cut Joel off of the blackened already.
Your first Rank the Blank, and it's not as outlandish. I think you'll like it, though. I tailored it specifically to you.
Okay. I will admit I have one coming up that is also quite tailored to you. Actually, two of them now that I think about it. But
actually we have extra. If we have extra time, we'll do more,
Yeah. We're just here to chill and have a good night. So
exactly. Your first Rank the Blank, Dan. Your favorite NHL players from Minnesota.
Oh, wow. This is going to be...
I picked... Obviously, there's a massive list of this, but I went through. I picked 5 out, and I am going to pick... Or I'm going to... look at that. It's like I read your mind.
Why do you think I brought this particular whiskey glass out?
Or it's like I know you're from Minnesota or something crazy. So... What I'm going to do is I picked 5 NHL players. I kept it recent enough. Like if I look at it really quick, they have all played in your lifetime, and you are 32. So sorry for releasing that to the world. You are 30.
It's not even like a number that it's like, it doesn't end in a 0 or a 5, so it doesn't matter.
And most of them are still active. A couple are not, but they all played within your lifetime.
Okay.
All right. The first one for you, let me type it out for you. I'm going to make you start off hard right away is Zach Parise.
Ooh. Okay. So Zach Parise. Solid career. He also retired this offseason, so he's done. He's hanging them up.
Yep, exactly. He was the closest borderline active, not active. There's one other that to my knowledge, has been retired for a little bit now.
Okay. I'm gonna put Parise at number 4 on this list.
At number 4. All right. Okay.
I think
okay.
Given the way things ended in Minnesota, I think he could have gotten a little higher on that list. But things did kind of end on a pretty sour note in Minnesota, and that bumped down his score a little bit. So
okay.
I'm gonna put Zach Parise at number 4.
Zach Parise is at number 4. All right. Your second player from Minnesota is, and I know you like this guy, newly Stanley Cup champion Kyle Okposo.
Ooh, yes. I do love me some Kyle Okposo. Had a short but solid career with the Minnesota Gophers as well. Mm-hmm. Love that he finally got his name on the Stanley Cup, because he went through some rough years with the Islanders, rough years with Buffalo. I think he probably wants one more year, but now that he's got his name on the cup, he can kind of victory lap through the season and go out on his own terms, it feels like, rather than hopefully it's not an injury that forces him out, but it's he gets to retire on his own terms. Maybe he hangs him up, but I feel like he also might have announced that by now if he was going to do that. Just that's so a good
point. If Joe Pavelski, well, maybe they're all maybe they're talking and they're like, hey, I don't want to overshadow. I mean, obviously Joe Pavelski's way huger than Okposo, but still, like,
that's fair. And I will say too, with Okposo, he's probably been so wrapped up in cup celebrations that he hasn't given it a ton of thought. I did think maybe he would just announce that, just so that if he was going to retire, the team would have time to, because I think he still has one more year in his contract. I don't think he's a free agent. I think he still has one more year, right?
No, he is a free agent.
Or is he a free agent? Okay, then maybe he's just going to enjoy free agency a little bit, see who calls, and when the phone rings, it rings. So
see if he can get one more paycheck for a year.
I'll put Okposo at 3 on this one.
Okay, all right, okay.
Because I think there's going to be one more that I'm kind of waiting on, 1 or 2 here. So we'll
see. You understand how this works now.
Yes, because I've had so much time to write these for you and put into work how to craft these, that being on the other side now, it's like, okay, let me see if I can outgame the gamer here on this one.
All right. Your next one. Here's where I troll.
Oh, boy.
Nick Leddy.
God, let me tell you, I was stoked when the Wild drafted Nick Leddy. Coming off of an outstanding career at Eden Prairie High School. He was a state champion in Minnesota. Like, everybody knew he was going to be good. Except apparently the Wild, who seemed to think that Cam Barker was the better play.
Legendary Cam Barker.
Never forgive the Wild for sending Nick Leddy and Kim Janssen, who I also liked quite a bit. Janssen was a solid defenseman, underappreciated top 4 D-man, played top 2 quite a bit for the Wild. And I thought Leddy was going to be like the next man up. And the idea is we very nearly had what could have been Nick Leddy and Jared Spurgeon on a pairing.
Yep.
That would have been really fun to see.
What's one of the very few very big-brained decisions that Stan Bowman made. Sorry, he who shall not be named. But when I say that,
I'll tell you what, he hit a home run on that trade by far.
He didn't have many that made a hell of a lot of sense, and he didn't have many that were very big-brained. That one was.
Seeing this list now, I'm regretting putting Parise at 4, because I would rank Leddy over him had I known that was where this list was going to go. That said, though, I think I have to put Leddy at 5 for now, just keeping those top 2 spots.
Wow. Okay.
But I will say I would rank Leddy for sure ahead of Parise and possibly ahead of Okposo. It's close.
Right,
it's really close with those 2. But again,
1 and 2
we're ranking these blind, so I don't get to know here.
1 and 2 are still available.
While you're typing that in, we got a couple of comments here.
Yeah, go ahead. Good.
B-Rad asking, are the Wild still on the hooks for Parise's and Suter's contracts yet? So one more year of the worst of the buyout. So they will have a 15 mil dead cap hit next year. After that, the combined cap hit goes down to like 1.3 or 1.6. I think 1.6. But it's under 2 mil for like another 4 years after that. Still the right decision. Zero regrets about it. Suter has been bought out again since the end of his deal, and he's continuing his tour around the Central Division. So
I got to get this one on here, Mark. Dan and his inner Pierre Maguire.
Yeah. Going back to the high school days, Eden Prairie High School, and being able to name drop that one. Yeah, I was there. I remember. And
actually, really quick, too. By the way, Mark, by the way, Joel, thanks for getting me addicted to the CHGO podcast. Listen every friggin' day. Hell yeah. I get it. It's a Chicago podcast. It's not really related to, but they talk the whole league when they need to. It's good. I even got the Minnesota boys to listen to them a couple times over here, and Dan and HP.
Yeah, I mean they do a good show. They really do. So it's not my main
some of the
cup
guys
of tea because Chicago,
it's mostly Chicago, but
it's a good show. They do good work.
All right, so you are looking at that right now, and your next player is Blake Wheeler.
Yeah, Wheeler's going to go 2. Again, going back to now that hang on. So Parise is the only non-gopher, or no? Letty didn't. Otherwise, I was going to say you had a lot of Gophers on this list. I feel like there are so many players who you're from Minnesota, you go to the U, and then you go to the NHL, and that's just how it works out. Wheeler's diving goal to beat North Dakota is one of my like core hockey memories. Watching hockey with my dad on Channel 45 back when that was the channel that aired the Gopher games instead of Big Ten Network way back when. But unreal overtime. He Superman dives on his stomach and chops at the puck and flips it over the shoulder of the North Dakota goaltender to beat North Dakota. Iconic hockey memory for me. Wheeler goes 2.
Then that means your number 1 spot goes to.
Can I make a guess?
You can guess. Go ahead.
TJ Oshie?
It is not TJ Oshie.
Wow. I held on to that spot thinking you were going to go Oshie.
So I must have missed him on the list I looked at, and I actually forgot he was from Minnesota.
There are a few players who I'm very curious to see who you put here and also who you left off the list here.
Matt Cullen goes number 1.
You know what? Zero problem with that either.
I know. I was like, I either wanted to save
Cullen
him
guy.
for. It's funny. I was going to save him for last, thinking you would pick 1 and like put him somewhere else because I know you were a huge Matt Cullen guy when I first met you. I remember that. And I was like, I wonder if it's going to, and it worked. It ended up working in your favor anyway. He got number 1.
When you and I played Shell.
Yes.
I would double shift Matt Cullen on the 3rd and 4th lines just so that I could put him out to take faceoffs against Taves because he was the only guy on the Wild who would have had a chance to win faceoffs against Taves on Shell. Like he was so good in the dot, and throughout his career, loved Matt Cullen's game. He's a fantastic hockey player. No regrets having him at number 1 on this list. I think the only change I would make would be to switch Letty and Parise on this list. Otherwise, I can be pretty happy with that. Another one I'm surprised you didn't go with was Dustin Byfuglien.
I saw him. I didn't want to like.
Throwing 2 Blackhawks on the list and 2 guys who won cups with the Blackhawks. I mean,
exactly. I wasn't going to keep it all Chicago related there.
You honestly though, you could have because you could have gone those 2. You could have gone. Let's see, where else could you go? Like those are the big ones, at least recently. Ryan Donato, another one who went Boston, Minnesota, and Chicago. So Mark, there you go.
There you go, Mark.
There's a pretty strong crossover list of players here between Minnesota and Chicago through the years.
All right. That is your first rank, the blank.
All right. This one for you. I'm going to start with one
I didn't even see it in here. Where did you
Oh,
hide it?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't put a list in yet.
Oh, okay. I was like, I thought you
No,
said
I haven't. I haven't
others,
put the graphic in yet. I was just getting my sheet up here.
Well, you can use one of my templates I made for you.
That's what I'm doing here.
Good. While you do that, let's get through a couple other. Yeah, exactly. B-Ride's right. That would be too much trolling if I threw Big Buff in there.
Okay, so
don't be shocked if the Bruins offer Blake Wheeler a PTO this fall.
You know what? It makes sense. A big physical power forward winger, like he.
But Boston never has
middle
those.
six maybe.
Boston never
I think
has those.
I think at this point in his career, he's more bottom six than middle or top six, but can still play and a proven player. I mean, long career in the league and does what he does better than most that try to do it. So definitely fits a need and Bruins style player too. Like I can absolutely see that. Joel, your list here is going to be.
Let me get rid of that for you.
These are the sports that Joel would follow if the NHL disbanded.
Oh my God. That's really good.
It's summer. It's the off season. So
does that mean? Is that like also assuming like football is also disbanded? Like
nope. This is just what you're going to watch instead of the NHL. We know you're still going to watch football. That's a given. We know you're going to watch baseball. That's a given. We know you'll keep half an eye on the NBA. But something to fill the hockey void here. We're going to start with bags / cornhole, whatever you call it.
Oh, it's bags, damn it. I don't care where you're from. It's bags.
Thank you. It's bags.
Those damn people in Indiana call it cornhole, which is ridiculous. Apparently people from Michigan call it that too, and I don't understand. But anyway, like people from Michigan are civilized. Come on. Oh, man. And here's the thing. I think everyone can relate to this. During COVID, I watched myself a little bit of professional corn. Wow, I almost.
Oh, you almost did it. You stopped.
Oh, no. I watched myself the professional bags a little bit. I was getting kind of into it. I didn't like have a favorite. You know what? I'm not surprised, Mark. I could see Massachusetts being a cornhole as opposed to a bags. Be red? Yep, exactly. Ooh, man, that's. You know what? I'm not even gonna wait to see if like the obvious ones pop up at all. I'm gonna toss that at 3.
You toss it at 3, okay?
Yeah. That's I love playing bags, and I am not like overconfident at many things. I can be confident at things, but I'm not overconfident, even on borderline cocky at things, like ever. Bags is the one thing where I'm like, oh yeah, you're gonna get your ass kicked because I am that confident in my abilities.
All right, your next sport, beach volleyball.
Feel like during COVID, that was another thing during COVID. I would pop on a little bit.
Yeah, that was one of the few sports that you really could do during COVID because you got 4 players and an official, so everybody's relatively distant.
I do love volleyball. I love volleyball. I played it in high school. It was a lot of fun, and it is a lot of fun to watch too. But I don't know if I would get into it that hardcore. But not so much that I'd be like, this is lame. I'm going to toss it 4.
Okay.
It's not worth a 5. It's not last. Definitely not last, but.
While I'm typing this one in.
Okay.
Your next one is equestrian / dressage. The horse dancing stuff.
I don't speak French.
I don't even know if equestrian is a French term.
It's not. You said something about a corsage or something.
Dressage.
Yeah, corsage, whatever.
So can I just go ahead and put that one at 5?
Yes.
Based on that?
Yeah. The only time I would watch that is if, and I think everyone knows this viral video that had happened. I think it might have been during COVID. Was when Snoop Dogg was doing play-by-play
I was going to
for
bring that one up.
the equestrian. And I would watch that. I would watch Snoop Dogg narrating it. That's what I would. Then it would go up to like 2 probably. Also, B-Rad mentioning, did I ever do the mud volleyball thing at Proud American Days as a thing back in our hometown? B-Rad and I are from the same hometown, by the way.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. We didn't meet until Bradley, but we did meet. By the way, it's really funny to know that I am friends with a Dan Bradley and a Bradley Werner, who we all 3 met at Bradley. Anyway, I did do the mud volleyball there 2 years, my junior and senior year. Mud volleyball is fun. It is a blast.
It's beach volleyball, but messier.
Literally. And my God, you gotta be careful, but you get a little workout.
Sport number 4 of 5 on this list, tennis.
Damn it. Oh, Bags should have gone higher. I just can't get into tennis, man. I've tried, but it's going at 2. It has to.
Well, if you thought...
I cannot get into tennis. I just can't. I can't do it.
If you thought...
Hey, you know what? No, I take that back. I can. Because I loved Mario Tennis back in the day. So 2 isn't too bad, actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
If you thought you had Bags too low when you put them at number 3 and heard tennis come up, wait till you see what your number 1 sport is.
Oh! No, I'll take that.
You'll take soccer at 1.
Yeah, that would make sense. I probably would. I mean, obviously outside of football and baseball, we said we exclude that. Yeah. Dude, nothing sounds cooler to me. I make fun of it, but like I like it. I try to get into it. I mean, I think I only get into the ones that have meaning. So like the World Cup, or if it's like a Premier League championship game, or however it works.
The Euro. Did you catch Euros 2024 at all?
No.
I
saw some highlights. I heard that was very, very good. I saw there was a Malice in the Palace soccer style.
They had, for those who didn't catch this one, they had fans storming the stadium. They had fans climbing in through the ventilation system to try and get into the building for the match. It was that crazy. Argentina won 1-0 with a goal. I think it was like 112th minute, something like that. So they were well into extra time before they got the goal in that one. The Euros final, Spain beat England 2-1. England's now gone like 60 years without winning a major championship trophy of some kind. They really thought this was going to be the year, and Spain denied them, so that was funny. I thought I was going to get you on that one.
No. I accept that. I want to get into it more. And to B-Rad's point in here too. Hold on, sorry, I'm saving some stuff. To B-Rad's point in here too, like I think I need to go to a soccer match to really get into it. Same thing with NASCAR. I can't get into NASCAR. I can't do the racing thing. I've tried.
Going to a sporting event and watching it in person is such a dramatically different experience than watching it at home. I tell people who, when they say, I can't follow the puck on TV. I say, go to the building and watch. That will help. Watch one game in person, and it doesn't even have to be pros. Go watch minor league, watch juniors, watch your local high school team if you can, whatever. Just get in the building to watch a game. It'll completely change the way you watch it. I feel like soccer for me, like I liked soccer. Going to a Minnesota United game, that's why the scarf is hanging up there now. And plus, like watching it with friends versus watching it on my.
That's where I want to get into it a little more, because Chicago, it makes sense. We have an absolute plethora of, league or Premier League bars that do the whole get up at 7 or 8 a.m. thing and have a bunch of pints, watch
you get
the
multiple
games. That
Premier League bars
badass.
And then teams that are like championship
yes,
and have been relegated from
Yeah.
The Premier League.
That's something I've wanted to do for a while. And there was a couple times we had plans to do it. They got canceled. And then I think COVID hit. And then ever since it ended, I just never went back because a lot of the friends who were big into soccer moved out of the city. I want to go to just one of those types of pubs that does one of the very meaningful games, and just have a bunch of pints of either Guinness or Carlsberg or whatever. And
HP, in a Chelsea bar when Chelsea plays Arsenal or Tottenham.
I don't even have a team, so I'll just root for whoever you guys root for, which in that case, yes, it's Chelsea. So, yeah, that's fine. That would be the best. So I don't mind it. And also, thank you, Sam. Sam chiming in. Wait, she hasn't been in here in a while, so we cheers to. She's not a new viewer, but she's been here a little while. And yes, backwards hat Joel. What team are we cheating on tonight? We're drinking whiskey right now. This is actually a Goose Island hat. I'll turn it around in a minute. I'm typing something right now, but it's a Goose Island hat. So it's still Chicago, so I'm not really cheating on any team.
While you're typing there, Joel, I'll ask you: have you been to the Goose Island Brewery at all and done the brewery tour? And
so I've done both. There's actually two technically, and I've done both of them. Yeah,
nice.
They are incredible. The brew pub was the first one I ever did, and they actually just moved it over. They moved it recently, but that was the first one I did. That was really cool, but nothing beat going to the actual legitimate original brewery.
Yeah,
like the actual manufacturing facility. They have a little tap room too, but oh my god, that tour was so fun. It's a craft brewery tour while also knowing like they're huge. They're a national brand. Like they're owned by oh god, who bought them? Is it Anheuser-Busch? I think it's Anheuser-Busch, I believe. Yeah. And so they got way more exposure now. It's so cool. And one of the beers they had us try, I think we did it last September maybe, and they had us try this stout that they were releasing, and it was like a peanut butter stout, and it was strong. I think it was like 10%. For one, you couldn't tell it was 10%, and two, it was like one of the best tasting stouts I've ever had in my life. It's so cool. They give you a lot of good
Goose
stuff.
Island doesn't miss.
Goose Island does not miss. Everything they have is good. There's only one beer by them I don't really like, and it's just their straight up Goose IPA because it just tastes like an IPA. But that's okay because everything else they do is a hit. All right. So, Dan, your next rank the blank.
Let's go.
Is, and like I said, I have some, and I'm sure we might get to even more, so I'm glad I have extra. This one is a little more fun, but also pretty straightforward.
Okay.
And it's not sports related, since we just did two sports related ones. This is going to be your favorite pizza styles.
Ooh, okay.
I got a little motivation from the last one you had me do for the 4th of July. We did stuff on the grill.
I like this one, and while not a Chicago or New York native, I'm a big dude. I like pizza. You know what it is. I have some serious pizza thoughts.
I've been dabbling with the idea of at least maybe trying for a month at some point. Not now.
We have an impromptu rank the blank here.
We do.
From Sam. Who is the best ECHL social media assistant? Rank go.
We know more than just one, don't we?
Number 1, Sam Wismer. End of list. Doesn't matter after that.
Never mind. Okay. It's number 1, Sam Wismer. End of list. Done.
We don't need to keep going.
There is no blank.
Yeah.
You are the
one of one.
Yes, one of one. No one, but actually, no one does it like Sam does it. So
we got Mateo chiming in.
Oh, Mateo's on YouTube. You know what? As long as you're watching on YouTube, Mateo, I was looking for you. We missed you, so I was hoping you'd chime in. I'll accept that. It's going to be wrong, but I'll accept
it. Scott Wheeler dropped his list of top 100 NHL drafted prospects, and it was players who under 23 and drafted but have played not enough games yet to be considered a full-time NHLer.
Mm-hmm.
He had Buium at number 5 on his list. If I recall correctly, Celebrini was 1, Michkov was 2,
Wow.
Demidov was 3, Levshinov 4, and Buium was 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, damn.
Buium is good. He is that dude.
Hey, man. I was excited for you. I wasn't gonna, you guys need a win.
We do.
That was a win.
Buium was a big win.
Plus, meeting your GM, I want him to succeed because he was a cool dude.
Billy G rocks, dude.
Meeting him was like, I was like, you're an executive? Like, outside of the whole suit thing, like, you're pretty fucking cool.
That he's there talking to somebody, and that we brought up the Stanley Cup. Sitting right behind me here.
Yeah.
We started walking towards him with the cup, and he turned and looked at us, and he goes, "Well, that's pretty fucking cool."
Yeah.
Like those were his exact words.
Started the conversation. Thinking he didn't even make fun of. Oh well, I didn't wear a. Did I? No, I wasn't mean. I didn't wear a Hawks jersey in there, or did I?
No, you didn't do that. No. You.
I got a Hawks hat on.
What did you have? You did something.
I wore a Hawks jersey when Tom Reed met me, and he got really pissed. I take it back. I did wear. I wore my Patrick Kane jersey.
Yeah, that's about right.
Because he's your owner, so I had to, wear it anyway. Your first pizza, Dan. Neapolitan.
I am a sucker for a good Neapolitan. Neapolitan pizza. Oh man.
Those who don't know, we have done like our personal favorites, but it wasn't obviously blank. It was just us choosing them. So that's where this is going to be fun.
Oh
man. And while you're thinking about that, get a couple of these. B-Rad Billy G was really cool.
Mm.
Scott Wheeler and Pronman love Buium. Yeah.
Yeah, they really do.
Hey, that's fine. I'm still surprised that actually we haven't had a show since that happened. I'm surprised we decided to sign Levshinov, and it sounds like he's going to be here. He's not going to be in the big club. He's going to play at Rockford, but unless he blows minds in training camp or start,
which he entirely possibly could,
and the preseason, I should say. But
it's a little uncommon. For
all right, hold on. Is Mateo drinking some of my whiskey? I don't know about that.
No. And as a noted Frankie Nazar lover, I agree with that take.
Whatever.
I was the one who put you on to Frankie Nazar.
You did.
Yurov over Nazar. Both are good. Yurov was like considered a top 5 talent in his draft class, and he fell because he plays in Russia. Also, for those who don't know, by the way, guys who are playing in Russia tend to come to the NHL a lot quicker than NCAA guys. That's the secret that draft prospects and scouts don't want you to know. Look at the last few drafts and look at the impact that Russian players are making compared to making the jump from NCAA. And we're seeing guys like Cutter Goche, guys like Mackie Samoskevich, these guys who probably could be playing NHL. Who's the guy from Winnipeg that they were just talking about trading? I'm blanking on his name.
I don't remember.
It was Mateo's got me here. I know he does. But a prospect for the Jets who they were like talking about trading at the draft. And the Wild were talking about, well, if Buium's not there, we're going to trade up with Winnipeg so we can get Rucker McGroarty. Thank you. Yeah, I couldn't come up with it, and the name that I had in my brain was wrong. So thank you, Mateo. Yeah, Rucker McGroarty.
Now he's in the whiskey.
Bottoms up to that one.
Now he's. I'm not drinking to that one.
I will.
All right, Dan, pick your pizza.
You know what? It's early on the list. I'm going to put Neapolitan at number 1.
Wow! I actually thought you might, but I didn't actually think you'd go through with it.
A good Neapolitan pizza.
Okay.
In the brick oven with the fresh basil. It's simple and it's elegant and it's delicious. It doesn't need a whole lot. It's just very simple and very good, fresh ingredients.
You're not
It's
wrong.
as it should be. Neapolitan, I'm putting it number 1.
You are not wrong on that. All right. So Neapolitan is at number 1.
Mateo, you like strawberry and chocolate on pizzas. Well played, Mateo. Well played.
Yes. Now we're cooking with gas. We need a Mateo in here. All right. So now.
I do want to touch on Sam's comment here while we're.
Oh yeah, no. While I'm typing this out, go ahead.
Sam asked me how I feel about the Iowa Wild signing Will Zamolik. Sam, it's great to hear from you that he's a good kid. I don't know much about like his personality or anything like that, but he has history already playing in Minnesota, even though it's not with the organization because he was at Bemidji State, and I think he. He's from Minnesota. He was at Rochester. He's at one of the Rochester schools, probably. I think it was maybe Rochester Century he went to. And then I think he played juniors somewhere, probably like with the Wilderness or something like that. But yeah, so he has ties to Minnesota hockey, of course. So anytime that we bring one of us into the organization, it seems like it's a relatively good thing. So I'm hoping that he can stabilize things with Iowa because my goodness, was that a mess last year. Mateo's saying the whole Zamolik family rocks. I grew up playing against Will and Bennett it was Century. Nailed it. Boom. So they were at Century. But yeah, Mateo's saying that he played against Will, so that kind of rules. Yeah, so I would say excited to have him and knowing that the Wild have some good defensive prospects in the pipeline that they're really leaning on, having somebody like Zamolik back there who can kind of hold down the fort and probably, as Sam said, play second pairing D-man role at Iowa and just kind of fill that role for the team and allow the younger players some flexibility with playing up or down the lineup. Somebody you can count on back there, I'll take it. I like it.
Absolutely. All right, Dan, your next one. Deep dish, Chicago. I know some places call it deep dish, but the real deep dish. Which, for the record, Chicago style is not deep dish. It's part of it, but it's not the true Chicago style. It's the tourist pizza, really. Don't get me wrong. I love deep dish. It would be higher up on my list, but
I'm going to put deep dish at 4.
Okay.
Because some of the other kinds I do hold slightly higher, and I think you're going to get to them at some point here. So I'm going to go deep dish at 4. That's not to say that I won't eat a deep dish pizza if you put it in front of me.
I've seen you devour one.
The
day after your wedding, or was that
day of?
Day of. That's right.
Day of. I took all the groomsmen. We went to
Lou
Lou Malnati's That was where we went for lunch on wedding day. So
yep, that was very helpful for me. Not getting too hammered at your wedding. Anyway.
Yeah, without that, you would have really been gone.
We did run your bar out of old fashions, or at least we ran it out of bullet when we had to use. If anyone's ever had a Jack old fashioned, I don't really recommend. I don't recommend doing it, but it works.
Yeah, it certainly got the job done. But yeah, that we drank the wedding bar out of old fashions before dinner. We were on a roll.
Oh yeah. All right,
I don't think I even had an old fashioned at the somebody brought me over wine. But
someone brought you over one, I think HP
while people were doing while we were doing cocktail hour at the wedding, Michelle and I had to sign the certificates and all that jazz and
that's true.
Yeah, so we were doing that while people were mingling, and then it was it's dinner. So they brought over the plate of the cocktail snacks. Samplers and then rolled into dinner. But those petite beef Wellingtons, I still dream about those.
Oh my God. Every time somebody walked by with that thing, I was just like, one moment.
Yep.
All right.
Michelle and I decided, we were like, okay, we're each going to get to put one thing on this list that is exclusively for us. And if other people don't like it, that's fine. These are here because we want them to be here. That one was mine.
Well,
Petite
yeah.
Wellingtons. And people were like, I don't know. And then they tried them, and then, oh, yeah, this is why they're here.
Yeah. Oh, so good. All right. Your next pizza.
This is really good whiskey.
Detroit style.
5.
Wow. That's low.
I'm going to go 5 on that one. I went deep dish for it. I do think I like deep dish a little bit more than Detroit. Again, these aren't that I don't like them per se. It's just in terms of preference and what I think you're going to do with some of the others here. There are others that I prefer more than Detroit style. It's not bad. There's nothing wrong with it. I know I like Neapolitan more. I like deep dish more. And I can think of at least 2 other styles of pizza that I would rank ahead of Detroit style. So,
and this one is automatically getting ranked ahead of both of those, as it should. Tavern style. The real Chicago style pizza. This one I went heavy on Chicago.
Yeah, I wonder why.
It's pizza. Come on.
Without knowing what you're putting at the last one here, this is really tricky because, like, I do rank tavern style pretty high here.
Mm-hmm. I'm interested. I have a guess as to where you're going to put it, but while you're thinking.
Well, yeah, Mateo asking here, explain tavern style. So, Joel, I'll let you go ahead and explain tavern style here while I think about where I'm going to put it.
You had the marketed Chicago style. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Deep dish is still very, very amazing. It's just usually the tourist thing first. Then you go.
Right.
Tavern style is a thin crust, pretty crispy, thin crust, and it is cut into squares. But there's like a specific type, like there's a specific things they put in the dough. I can't exactly remember. Yeah, honestly, it is kind of like bar pie in Massachusetts. And bar pie almost made this list too. I will tell you that's not on here. But it's, it's basically that. Like if you look it up, if you Google tavern style, like it's just that like thin crust. Maybe sometimes it's got a double dough crust, so it looks slightly thicker, but not like super thick or anything. They do a little, there's something of science to the dough, and I can't really remember it off the top of my head, but cut in squares. And usually the best places are like sometimes it's, the, not chains, but multi-loc type places. But then usually the best are like just this 1 or 2 loc, like bar place that's just, like we got a place here. It's probably my favorite place for tavern style. It's called Michael's Original Pizza Tavern. Like it's not that marketable. There's one location, but it's the best tavern style I've ever had. Like it's like that.
I'm gonna put tavern at 2, and also before we forget here, in case Michelle's Uncle Greg is watching, it's his birthday.
Happy birthday, Uncle Greg!
Yesterday was his birthday. But he always hooks us up with Abby's Pizza anytime we're in town.
Abby's, which I have not had it yet. I need to.
We got to get you there. You would love Abby's. Like the way that when you put the pizza like under the broiler.
If I want sauce on top, it's under the sauce. It's under the cheese. Under the sauce.
That video is ridiculous. It's so
under the sauce.
Where's the cheese? It's under the sauce. There's no cheese on this pizza. It's under the sauce. How can you call it a pizza when there's no cheese? It's under the sauce.
From Chicago. I need to go back to Chicago for the real Chicago stuff. Mateo, you come here. You come here. I will take you for real Chicago style, tavern style, and we will get drinks.
When you get the cheese like right up under the broiler, and you get kind of that brown bubbling like
be red my mind. Be read my mind. If I'm ranking my top 5 tavern style places, Aurelio's is on my top 5. It is incredible. Happy birthday, Gregor. All right, Dan. So what you did is you put at number. So here is your final list. You put New York Style at number 3.
I can be content with this list.
Yeah,
I have no issues with how that top 5 came out.
I probably.
I think you would swap Tavern and Neapolitan, right?
Oh, absolutely. Tavern's number 1 for me. Hometown bias, but also just in general, that's just what I prefer.
It's just a good pizza.
Deep dish would probably go at 3 for me. Neapolitan, I really do like it. It would still probably go number 4, though. I really like Detroit style too. I'm a big fan of Detroit style, but it needs to be done correctly, and that's hard to find in my opinion. So it probably sticks at number 5. I'm with you.
I lucked out in that while I was living and working in Duluth, across the street from the TV station that I was working at, there was a Neapolitan style pizza place. And I would go there every single Friday for lunch. It did not matter. And I would walk in the door and they would toss my pizza in the brick oven because they knew what I was going to get. And they had it ready to go so that by the time I got to the counter and was ringing it up, they were handing me the pizza fresh out of the oven, ready to go. They had it set. So shout out Vita Pizza as well while we're at it, because they freaking rocked, and I was a regular there. Every once in a while, they'd throw me they would have merch that they'd drop, so I'd grab a beanie or whatever, free slice or free pie every once in a while here too. So loved those guys. Not Little Caesars B-Rad. You can get out of here with that one. But yeah, Vita Pizza in Duluth. I love those guys. They took care of me when I was a broke dude working in television, making $23K a year. Because that's what you make working in TV.
Yeah, I get it.
In a starter market that you do not make much at all.
This is a good list right here, Mateo. I actually like this list. Actually, this might be switch New York and Neo for me. Oh, wait. No. Hold on. That's tough, actually. I don't know. It's tough. But anyway, Dan, give me another one.
All right. This one you are going to have a ton of fun with, and it will frustrate you in a very good way. Because knowing that can you still hear me though?
Yeah, I get it.
Okay. So knowing that you are a big fan of video games, as am I, this list is the top 5 video games that you would most want to play again for the first time. If you could erase having played them before and go through the experience of playing them again for the very first time, that is what this list is.
I love you for this one, and I'm going to cry probably thinking of it. Joey chiming in. Building a new toy for little James over there. James asks me daily when hockey will be back. Oh, you're starting them off early. You're racing them right. Cheers to Joey. Joey's a big bourbon guy too.
To Joey and to James.
To Joey and to James. NHL hits 2002. Oh my God, I remember that game.
Full disclaimer. Okay. With this list, there are no sports video games on this list.
There shouldn't be. This is not that type of list.
The core of those games is so similar from year to year that even when you get NHL 14, goated EHL game.
They can never top that unless they actually start giving a shit again.
That was the gold standard for me. That one, NHL 03 and 07. Those were peak EA NHL games.
I've always said this. If they could combine NHL 14, just in general, pretty much everything about it, along with, I guess, gameplay, definitely soundtrack. You combine NHL 14, and then you throw in a nice helping of NHL 16 features, because it had all the goal songs got licensed, so every team had a goal song in their arenas. And then you throw in just a dash of NHL, I believe it was 21 for the graphics and maybe some of the
I could rock with that.
That is the perfect NHL game.
NHL 14 had one of the best EA
Oh,
soundtracks ever.
Mateo's getting ahead of us, but I want to throw his list up here first. Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare 3, GTA 5, Super Mario at 64, and then Forza Horizon 1. Damn, that's a stacked list right there.
Well, Joel, let me tell you, one of the ones that Mateo just mentioned,
I figured it would, yeah,
is on this list, and we're
well,
going
you
to
might
start
as well
off
give it to me. Yep,
with GTA 5.
we're
We're going to start off strong on this list.
Man. So I have a controversial take.
Okay.
Now I'll rank it first before my take, because now that means that the other won't be. So it's okay. Play that for the first time again. I remember the hype for it coming out.
I'm going to pause for just a second and ask, if I had said San Andreas instead of GTA 5, would that have changed where you put it on the list? Between those two, which do you rank higher?
No, I think that they're pretty close to me.
I knew they were close. I didn't know which one you would have.
They're pretty close, actually, because now I know it's not on there.
Hmm.
I'll just do the hot take first then. GTA 4 still is second to none. Everything about that game was incredible. It was ahead of its time, and it stayed ahead of its time up until about maybe 6 or 7 years ago.
Okay.
Anywho,
so
all that
GTA
said,
5 on this list.
GTA 5, because I think I know where I know some are going to be on here. I would put it at 3.
Put it at 3. Okay.
I'd put it at 3. The hype was amazing. Oh god, oh my god, I spent so many hours in my dorm sophomore year playing that.
The second game on our list, Spider-Man 2 on PS5.
Oh man.
We're bringing out all the hits for this one.
Oh, that hurts me. That game I'm actually replaying it as we speak. I'm doing the new game plus mode or whatever. Oh my god. I just know there's other. It's going to hurt me. I have to put it at 4.
Okay.
It hurts me. But I got to put it at 4. I'm holding out. Maybe I'm holding out incorrectly, but I don't think I am. God, that game was the Spider-Man games on PS4 and then PS5, and then the Miles Morales part in there too. Like those are some of the best games I have ever played in my life.
You know what they call him in Europe? Kilometers Morales.
Kilometers. Well done.
The third game for you on this list, The Last of Us.
Oh no, my God. Why are you doing this? I went
evil on this one. Like I said, I'm going to frustrate you, but in the best way with this one.
Oh my God. I got to go 2.
Okay.
I don't know if I can go 1 because I'm still going to hold out. Mateo, Dan, I will strike you. I also agree with Mateo here. The story for GTA 5 is good. I really liked the story, but the experience for playing online GTA was so much fun. So I'm so excited for it. Does anyone give me some GTA 6 love? Hopefully we're all still here. I want to experience GTA 6 so badly.
Game number 4 on this list, Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, baby. 1. All day, number 1. That is, to this day, one of the most beautiful, just impeccable games to have ever been made. And I'd argue it is the best game ever made. I know the Zelda fanboys will yell at me for that one, but
it's weird to think of a video game as art per se.
I don't think it is
art in some ways, depending on the game. There are some that absolutely are art.
That game was
one was art.
Absolutely.
And a
Rockstar
game that is not on this list because I know you haven't played it yet, but you absolutely need to because it also is art. Baldur's Gate 3.
Baldur's Gate 3, yeah.
For me, that one would be number one on this list. If I could play Baldur's Gate again for the first time.
I think there's a rank the blank idea right there of rank the games you need to play but haven't and need to. Obviously, we'd have to get input because we don't know. Like sometimes you don't know what we've played. That's one of them. We don't get that into the Elden Ring, like, Dark Souls stuff. I could try it though. Probably the number one game I've never played that I need to is The Witcher 3. Yeah, I need to play. I own it too. I bought it on a PlayStation Network Christmas sale thing, so I got it like for $5, and it's just sitting in my library. I need to play it.
While we're reminiscing over old video games here, I found in the PlayStation Store today that the original Star Wars Battlefronts 1 and 2 are available now, and you better believe I had them downloading in the background at work.
Yeah,
because I'm going to need to put in some time on those ones on the PS5.
Those games are legendary.
So number 5 on this list, and
is it going to hurt me that it's number 5?
This one is going to hurt you a little bit because I know how much you loved this game. Do you have any guesses?
It's going to be either Skyrim or one of the original trilogy of the Modern Warfares.
It is Modern Warfare 2, which I believe is your favorite of the Modern Warfares.
Oh my God, they've never been able to top it, and that's held true since how many years has it been now? It's almost 15 years old. It came out in 2010. Oh no, it is 15 years old.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh no.
So now that you've seen all 5, how would you re-rank this list?
I think Red Dead 2 still stays at number 1.
Yep.
Just that experience. And like, I know there were the people that bitched at the very beginning, like in the mountains and stuff. This game's so slow. You don't understand then.
Let it go. Because they had to teach a lot of game mechanics.
I didn't get used to the mechanics until you were already well into that second camp.
Yeah.
And hell, I don't think I really truly became an expert at it until you got to
Saint Denis.
Not Saint Denis, no. Before that, I know it's not a good word anymore, but the plantation area.
It was that, and then I think it went the mountains, then Valentine, then Saint Denis.
No, Saint Denis was after they burned the house, that burned the plantation house down and everything.
Oh yeah, because they're your. What did they call that place?
I can't remember what it was called right now.
They were like right by the river.
Yes, exactly. That was where I finally was I'm an expert now at this game. Yeah, that was when I finally got it.
It took a good 15 to 20 hours of gameplay before you were like, I'm really comfortable with the mechanics.
Mateo, even though you hadn't played it, it is a tragedy that it ended up at number 5.
I was convinced that Joel was going to hold on to the number 1 spot just to put Modern Warfare there.
I was, because it was either that or
Red Dead would be your other one at that spot.
You were doing that or Skyrim. It was going to be one of those two.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't, when Red Dead came up, I couldn't put it at 5. So I think what would happen here is, believe it or not, somehow GTA 5 ends up moving down to 5. And then,
so you would go Red Dead 1, Modern Warfare 2, Last of Us 3, Spider-Man 4, GTA 5.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I loved GTA 5, obviously, but the hype leading up to it, there were some things. It's still one of the best games ever. But it just, I don't know. There was there were things about GTA 4 that I was just like, that was just so much better. Why did you take that out? And then they listened. And then when Red Dead 2 was made, they basically took some of the mechanics from GTA 4 and were like, well, put it on steroids.
I will say I did have one extra game. We've never done this before. This is an honorable mention.
Ooh.
This is one that I had decided.
We're off the rails, man. It's the offseason. We don't give a shit.
Last spot, and I had such a hard time picking what game that I was going to include for this last spot.
These are the shows for the diehards anyway, so who cares?
The last one that I had for that spot was Fallout 3.
That was actually, I was going to guess that.
Where would Fallout 3 have ranked among these 5? We'll call it 6 now, and assuming that one is in there.
So
does it bump any of them on this list?
It doesn't, because believe it or not, I actually never bought it. I played it a lot, but at friends' houses. I never actually purchased it myself, because then by the time that game got me into RPG style games like that, like first person RPGs specifically made by Bethesda, by the time I was like, hell yeah, like I'm into this style, Skyrim came out.
Yeah,
so
Skyrim is one that will own your soul.
Mateo was 2008 to 2016 peak gaming. So if you move it up to 18, because that's when Red Dead 2 came out, I would say yes. But we are still in an era to be excited for. GTA 6 is going to be bonkers. That's going to be something I don't think we've ever seen before. We got the Spider-Man games. The original Spider-Man came out in 2018.
Not to keep hammering Baldur's Gate, they are winning so many awards that they are having to send different developers to go claim the awards, because they have some devs who are still doing the updates and patch fixes and whatnot, who are working on that, while others are going to go claim the awards because they're winning that many awards. It is like, for me right now, 1A, 1B is Red Dead 2 and Baldur's Gate.
No, that's fair. That's very fair. For the first time ever, Fallout 4 would be a good one for me. I really had a good time with that one. And I started replaying it when I built this new computer. All right, Dan, I got a fun one for you.
Okay.
We did just go not sports. This one is sports again.
Okay.
And where are we? Here we go.
Let me go. Mateo here is saying that there are still bangers. Just feels like there used to be a higher hit rate. And
you're not wrong.
The bangers are more in the indie space. Yeah. Because you get some of these indie games that really pop off.
No, that's true. All right. So your topic is going to be, let's see. Like I said, I picked a couple. We did those two. That's a good one for if we do a couple extra ones. You know what? Since we got Mateo here, because it'll be fun to hear some of his takes on this. I think we'll do an extra one, maybe multiple. Because
I have one more prep for you, so
that's fine. I have two more outside of this prepped for you. We don't have to do all of them, but I want to do that one. I can delete. So that one I can delete. We're gonna do this one.
Yeah, save that one for another show when we're pulling content, and we'll just do it as part of a regular show.
This one's going to be fun for you, and then I'll do my extra one. The extra one will be quick.
Okay.
But this is the final big one I had for you. All right, so just getting this ready to go. How's that bourbon?
Oh, it's whiskey, and it is starting to hit a little bit.
Believe it or not, mine hasn't really hit too much, which is interesting because I didn't get a chance to eat lunch today.
Are you still on your first glass?
Yeah, it was near 2 fingers.
Yeah, this is glass number 2, and we're
okay. But mine is 122 proof.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm compensating.
It's gotten smoother though. Maybe it is hitting them. All right, you're gonna have a lot of fun with this one, and I'm excited to see Mateo's takes on this one. And honestly, Mark's too, even though it's Minnesota themed again. But you don't get enough Minnesota themed stuff, right? So, and this one will be fun for you, but it might tug at your heartstrings in a little bit of a way too.
Okay.
Minnesota sports moments.
Oh boy.
All-time Minnesota sports moments.
Okay.
I had to do some digging for this one. because I didn't want to I wanted to spread things out, across at least your major sports.
Right.
And also I needed to I really needed to make sure the significance of that really was that significant to not just Minnesota, but nationally, meaning obviously the significance for you is amplified type of thing.
Right.
So you can critique what I chose, but I think I chose some good ones.
Okay.
All right. So your first one. And again, I kept these within your lifetime. If I'm looking at it now.
Now I'm really intrigued on this list.
Hold on.
There's been a lot of Minnesota sports heartbreak in my lifetime.
These are happy moments.
Okay.
These are all well within your lifetime. There's one that I can't remember when it happened, but I am absolutely sure we were both born by the time when this happened. We were young, but I was really young. We'll see. Okay. First one, recency bias. The Timberwolves conference final run this year. This past year.
I will say, I feel like the hype around this year's conference finals run was considerably higher than the 2003 run. Or 4, I think it was. Yeah, 4.
Was that the...
That was, and I can still tell you the starting 5 from that team. Sam Cassell, Latrell Sprewell, Wally Zerbiak, Kevin Garnett, Michael Olowokandi.
Yeah.
Like, that team is etched in my memory. Like, that team was fun. This year's squad got me back into watching basketball again. Like, there were some bleak years in Minnesota. This was a fun run. Anthony Edwards, bring your ass. I got the bring your ass shirt from Soda Stick because I love Soda Stick, and basically half my wardrobe is either Soda Stick or Duluth Trading Company at this point. I love those guys. Soda Stick rules. But because I'm not a big basketball guy and because of the other ones that I think are going to be on here, I'm going to put it at 5.
Okay.
But I will say the future of Timberwolves basketball is looking pretty darn good right about now.
Dude, Anthony Edwards is so friggin' good.
He's so good. I hope he is continues his breakout from this year on the Olympic stage and just absolutely is that dude for Team USA this year. On a team that has a lot of dudes on that squad.
All right. So your next one, we're going to keep the recency going. PWHL Minnesota wins the inaugural league championship.
Oh, boy. I'm going to put this one at 3.
Okay.
And I'm going to say the championship has been so badly soured by everything that has happened since then. But the fact that they won the inaugural PWHL championship, that's not something that you can take away from that
don't
team.
take away that the players don't deserve to have that.
No, the players absolutely earned it. Everything that has happened off the ice since then has been just a gong show. But I will put the ladies at number 3 and go PWHL Minnesota at number 3 on this list. I very much enjoyed that team. It was a fun season.
Put down the small glass, grab the big one behind you. Which one?
The entire bottle.
Oh, the bottle?
Yeah. As B-Rad's next comment points to.
You mean the entire... And he does say precisely. Mm-hmm. All right. This is fair. So Mateo barely gave a crap about the Timberwolves, and then he puts 4 for the PWHL Minnesota.
Yep. Okay.
All right. Next one. This one's kind of funny. I'm sorry. This one's stupid, but you guys are going to hate me for this one.
Oh, boy.
It was a happy moment, though. At least it was at the time. The Vikings signed Brett Favre.
6.
I spelled his name wrong, but
6.
6.
If I could put this lower than 5, I absolutely would. Let's see. 5 is still open, right? Because I went 4 for the Wolves and I went 3 for PWHL Minnesota.
No, you put the Timberwolves at 5.
Damn it. Okay,
So,
Favre at 4.
3.
If I could put Favre at 20, I would. If I could put Favre at 50, I would. I absolutely hated when the Vikings signed Brett Favre. I hated it so much. I
Really? I didn't know you hated it because, like, at that time,
I absolutely hated it. I was like, this is the absolute worst because one of two things is going to happen. Either one, he is going to make the Vikings very good, but like by the numbers, he's going to have one of the most successful seasons in Vikings history, and then Packers fans are going to hold that over our heads that, hey, the best quarterback in your team's history is a former Packer, or he's going to absolutely tank and be cooked and washed up, which he was 2 years after we signed him. Yeah. He was absolute booty cheeks year 2 in Minnesota.
I don't think I care about the disaster. The first reason.
To B-Rad's point here, the thing that worries me next, and thankfully I don't think they're going to do this because they drafted McCarthy. If they had traded for Aaron Rodgers or if they had signed Aaron Rodgers as a free agent, I would have lost my damn mind.
Yeah, that would have. I mean, you would have gotten maybe one good year out of him as long as his Achilles decides to hold up.
No, keep that guy as far away from my team as possible.
So Mateo puts that at 2.
I would put that.
Tease his Packers fan, Grandpa. That is a good That's a good personal reason.
I would put it at 102, barring that personal connection.
Oh, that's good. All right, your next one. I'm going to type a smaller thing here. Here we go. Your next one, and I remember watching this live, Nino Niederreiter's series clinching OT goal in 2014 against the Avs in the first round. I believe that was a game 7, if I remember correctly.
It was game 7.
It was game 7 overtime, yes.
Teams alternated.
I'm sorry. You know what? I'm going to change. You got to put game 7 in that specifically.
Oh, man, this is tough. I think I'm going to put it number 1.
Wow.
The iconic ping as it went in, ringing out and absolutely silencing the Pepsi Center. I mean, that was something. Yeah. That was.
I remember watching
iconic
that
game.
That pain was nuts.
The Wild did not lead that entire game. They were down 2-0 in the series, went back to home ice, tied at 2-2. They lost game 5, tied it at home in game 6. Game 7, Colorado went up 2-0. Wild came back and tied it 2-2. Colorado was up, I believe it was 4-2, and then came back and tied it 4-4. And then Nino Niederreiter from Danny Heatley in overtime. Ping! And just the silence was deafening in the arena. I'm going to put it number 1.
Teo was 13. That's a core memory. Man, I didn't know I was that much older than you. I thought you were closer to my age. But yeah, I remember watching in my dorm, and that game was incredible. And then what happened? Sorry. I have to be brutally honest here. I remember when it happened, I cheered.
You were happy because you wanted us to play you.
I didn't want to play the Avs.
No, because honestly, like on paper, that Avs team was better and they were healthier. Minnesota was not healthy at all. They really probably should have lost that series, but they won it. And then we had to play a healthy Chicago team while we were banged up so badly that Charlie Coyle could not catch a pass because every time he did, his wrist would scream in pain because he had broken his wrist.
He still took us 6 though. That was a tough.
I don't know how we did because my God, everybody on that team was so hurt.
Between 14 and 15, if you were going to tell me which series I could have maybe seen us sweeping you, it would have been 14, not 15.
Yeah,
that should have switched. 6 should have been because you were way better in 15 than you were in 14.
Mm-hmm.
And you had our number in 15 in the regular season. We could not beat you.
I think we were 4-1 against Chicago in the regular season.
You were.
And the one win was in Chicago and in overtime.
Yes, it might have even been in a shootout.
I'm in a shootout.
Yeah. So,
but was for sure overtime. I do remember that because we took 9 out of 10 points in the regular season.
Yes. All right, Dan. So, what did you put at number 1? You may ask.
Let me guess. Is it the Minneapolis Miracle?
It is.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Let me tell you, because I have a story about the Minneapolis Miracle, and I don't know that I've told this one on the show before. Night of the Minneapolis Miracle, the Minnesota Mullets had a hockey game, and I am on play-by-play for that game. And, warm-ups start at 7 o'clock. Game was at 7:30. Players are coming onto the ice for warm-ups. Every single fan in the building is gathered around the lobby TV, and we are all watching the end of this game. I get that sinking feeling of, damn it, we've seen this before. Like, the Vikings blew it. They're not going to pull it out. And I have, I believe it was Hockey TV at the time. Might have even been Fast Hockey, but I'm pretty sure it's Hockey TV. Yeah. Calling me and saying, hey, why isn't your broadcast up? And I'm like, guys, chill. It's a half hour before puck drop. We're fine. I'm going to get it up. Like, we're cool. Yeah. But I had to go down to the locker room to get the camera and the encoder so that I could bring that up so that we could start broadcasting the game. Mm-hmm. And I was holding out hope. I was like, I can get to the end of the Vikings game and set it up after that. Saints score. I'm like, nope, we're done. Okay, let me go grab the equipment, start getting it set up. Got it out of the locker room. I'm in the elevator coming back up to where the broadcast booth and the lobby are at. Mm. And I'm in the elevator and I hear everybody screaming and going nuts. I'm like, oh no, what just happened? What did I do? I get out of the elevator and they are under review on did Stephon Diggs step out of bounds on this replay. I missed the play in real time, but I got to see the replay.
Yeah.
Got to see when they announced he's in bounds, it's a touchdown, and the lobby went nuts. HP tackled me. HP tackled me coming out of the elevator. And
I remember I went nuts. I was happy for you guys. That was
I will forever have that be the moment where I didn't get to see it in real time. It's one of the most iconic Minnesota sports plays ever. Like,
that's one of the best.
Miracle. It's Kirby Puckett's catch. Like, those are like the top 2.
I almost put that on here. I chose not to, but
Kirby Puckett's catch would have been number 2. Honestly, yeah. I would have put that ahead of the Miracle. Even I think.
Oh man, stay safe, Mark. We had those same storms roll in yesterday. While my mom and I were at a Def Leppard Journey concert, actually, we made it home before everything hit us.
Yeah, glad you got out of there okay.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, B-Rad. It all went through here last night. I heard New Lenox got hit hard. I know you're not living there anymore, but still, I heard they got hit pretty hard. Yeah, dude. No, I remember watching that. I was like that, and to me, that's one of the reasons why like people hate on Joe Buck a lot. That call was incredible by him.
Diggs, sideline, touchdown, unbelievable. Vikings win it. Stephon Diggs helmet toss.
Yeah, that was before Stephon Diggs was a dick.
Oh boy,
diva.
The opinion on Stephon Diggs has changed a little bit since then. I will forever love him for the Miracle, but yikes, that a rough go.
Mm-hmm. All right, Dan, I'm excited. What's my next one?
Give me just a second here. I'm creating the banner for it.
I'm adding one as well, mostly just a template again, so I can. Oh, whoops! Hold on.
Remember how I said one of these was going to frustrate you in a good way, and the other one was going to frustrate you in a funny way?
Oh no!
This is the one that's going to frustrate you in the funny way. This is Chicago sports scenarios that would cause Joel the most pain.
Oh, what the hell?
Starting with number 1, Caleb Williams is somehow worse than Mitch Trubisky.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
And the crazy thing is, all of these have like a 1% chance of happening or better. It's not like these are completely out of. Well, one of them is. Maybe a couple of them are completely out of question, but there are a couple that are like actually, it could happen.
It's topical.
This one in particular.
It's topical that he just signed his entry contract today. So did Romadunze
today.
39 mil guaranteed over 4 years with that 5th year rookie with that 5th year option. Which, God, I hope that 5th year option happens. Anyway, that's number 2.
Okay.
That's number 2. Because I feel like there's got to be one on there that I'm trying to read. But here's the thing. Here's the other reason why you type out why that's number 2. That would hurt the most because this is the most hope we've had, at least in my lifetime as a Bears fan. Even with Jay Cutler. I know when Jay Cutler came here, the hope that offseason was, my God, we are going to be, are you serious? We have Jay Cutler? What the hell? And that turned out terrible.
The hope with Justin Fields was pretty high. This one feels different just because of how many more weapons you have around him than just. And I told you this like the night they drafted him. I was like, I don't feel good about Fields. And I feel like the Bears trading up to get him, they have so many other needs beyond quarterback that a new quarterback is going to struggle.
And the feeling too is that the front office is vastly. We've never seen a front office or even ownership. Now the ownership even changed their tune. We used to hate them. Now we're kind of like, all right, you're at least starting to get with the times. Like that's why all of it put together is why it feels the most hyped and possible even that we've ever had it, at least in my lifetime. And I'm 30. So but the reason it is number 2 is because I have felt this pain before. Fields most recently, Trubisky, even though I never had full belief. I believed he could be decent. I never believed like
you were cautiously optimistic is probably the best way to put how you
felt. I didn't go out and buy his jersey. No. I didn't do anything like that. I was excited when we made the move, but I think it was more just because we made a move like that. I was like, that's cool. What the hell? Like, but so no, that's why it hits number 2, only because like it'll hurt really bad. It will be a flaming dagger to the heart. But I have felt a pain close to that many times before with the Bears, which is what pushes it barely from number 1 to number 2. That's why.
Barely. I see what you did there.
Yes. The fact that Jay Cutler is the best QB in my lifetime is sad. Yes.
Like, not just the best in your lifetime, B-Rad. Like in Bears history. Like
the Bears are 100 years. Yeah, the Bears are over 100 years old now, and he is the best in their lifetime. I mean,
Isha chiming in. Let's go.
Isha!
Here's to Isha.
Hey, guys, hope you have a great week. You too, man. You too.
CFL talk next week's show when we can prepare.
Yeah, right. I'd love to, though. I'd like to get into the CFL. Go BC Lions. I'm with you. I don't have a team, so I'll just root for yours, Isha.
All right, Joel. The second Chicago sports scenario that would cause you the most pain. The Bulls finished the regular season 1 win out of a playoff spot every year for the next 10 years. Now, you remember
that's already happened.
the quote from Jerry Reinsdorf, was that where he talks about how
Jerry Reinsdorf, for those who don't know, he owns the Sox and the Bulls.
Good, but not great. So that you're getting butts and seats and the end of the regular season matters and the fans are into it, but it doesn't matter whether or not you pursue a championship. You just need to be good enough to be in contention at the end of the regular season.
The old bastard is stuck in 1984, which is funny too, because he inherited Michael Jordan. He didn't own the team when Michael Jordan was drafted. That's the only reason that he can make that money. And actually, I heard today on ESPN 1000 Chicago radio, I listen to it every day, they had the greatest analogy for it. And his mentality, at least for the Bulls, I don't know what the hell he does with the Sox, but with the Bulls, which for those who don't know, Jerry Reinsdorf and the Reinsdorf family owns both the Bulls and the White Sox. But for the Bulls, the best analogy was the lights need to be on in April.
Yep.
And that's it. That's it. No, after that, it's okay. As long as they're on at least a little bit in April, that's it. That's okay. And now that they have the play-in tournament is the only reason the lights were on in April.
No.
So
where are you putting the Bulls on this list?
5, because I just don't care. I do like basketball. NBA specifically is probably last on my list. Maybe it's like a 4A or 3A, 3B with baseball and the MLB. But like the Bulls are just so like even diehard Bulls fans are complacent now. And I've never been like this crazy, like I bleed red, like see red diehard Bulls fan. I am a Bulls fan. I want them to be good. The Derrick Rose years were amazing when we had him, at least. And obviously we have the 90s, but that's what the ownership is laying on is their bet of money from the 90s.
The worst place for any sports fan base to be is in a state of apathy.
Media. Oh yeah, exactly.
Yes,
you could be pissed
even
off.
If the team is bad, if the fans are pissed off, they still care. When you get to a point where the fans don't care anymore, that is when you are really in trouble as a franchise.
God,
and the Bulls are moving in that direction.
Yes, I caught it when I said it. We all bleed red. I get it. And Mateo, I have an answer to that question after when we're about to close out the show.
The third scenario on that list, interestingly enough, does involve the Chicago Cubs.
I am a Cubs fan. I am a Cubs fan. That's the short answer. I'm a Cubs fan.
The Cubs are found to have cheated during the 2016 World Series, and their win is vacated. However, Houston still keeps their title. That was the important disclaimer. The Cubs are vacated for cheating. Houston still gets to keep their title.
Jesus. I mean,
I had a lot of fun putting this one together. I'm not going to lie.
I guess my explanation isn't going to wait till the end of the show. So I actually grew up a Sox fan as a child, like a small child, and up until about, I don't know, right at the end of high school. I was a Sox fan.
You had a Sox hat when I met you at Bradley.
Yeah, I was a Sox fan. I grew up on the southwest suburbs, so south side. Like I grew up a Sox fan. Was ecstatic when I was in 5th grade, and they won in 2005 and everything like that. I still have
the most forgotten World Series of the last 20 years.
It really is, and yet it was one of the most remarkable. Like I'm a Cubs fan, but I don't hate the Sox. I like to see them win, just not against us and not over us. Like they're still a team from Chicago. I don't hate them. I still I have Paul Konerko's autograph on something. Like that team was amazing, and they swept the World Series. That's incredible. How do you not talk about that?
That guy was a Twins killer too. Mark Burley and Paul Konerko.
Oh, Mark Burley.
Those guys always killed us.
I was a big Jermaine Dye guy. I love Jermaine Dye as a kid.
Yeah. How could you not?
Him, Joe Creedy, and Scotty Pods.
Future Twin at that point, Joe Creedy. He played
the
White Sox first and then went to Minnesota. Same with AJ Pierzynski.
So the thing is, and yes, I still have friends that rail on me for this, and that's fine. I accept it. I stopped giving a shit about baseball totally. Right towards, I don't know, the middle of high school, pretty much when I started watching hockey. When the Hawks started getting put on TV, I started watching hockey, and I was like, this is my life. It's always been 1A, 1B football, hockey. And I stopped giving a shit about baseball, especially because both teams were just jokes anyway. So what the hell? I don't care anymore. Joel, the first kid to ever like socks for Christmas. Yeah. Oh, dude, I love socks for Christmas now. Have you ever worn Bombas? They're the best. Anyway.
Bombas rule. They're so good.
Every Christmas, I'm like, Mom, I don't need anything for Christmas. Just get me Bombas and yeah.
Bombas and bourbon, and I'm good to go.
Bombas and bourbon. That's exactly what you got me this year. So then without really realizing it, I was going to more Cubs games than Sox games. And I was best friends with more Cubs fans than Sox fans in high school, right as high school was ending too. And I went to Wrigley as a Sox fan. I went to a Sox Cubs game as a Sox fan at Wrigley. And I was like, holy shit, this place is incredible. Like the atmosphere is insane. Like, whoa. All right. So I stopped giving a shit. The Cubs started to get good. So yes, it is technically by definition considered a bandwagon. I started like being like, I'm interested again in like 2014. They still weren't very good, but they were doing all those offseason signings. Like Joe Madden was coming in. They got Lester, obviously. So that 2015 season was the first one where I was like, am I a Cubs fan now? Like, I only care about them. I'm rooting for them actively. I like baseball again. Like, it's fun. And that was when I was like, I'm jumping ship. And then, yes, they won the World Series. All this to say, that's why that's going to go at 4. Because that pain, like the excitement for them winning, historic for my city, yes, but I technically wasn't on the lifelong diehards that had been waiting for so long, and I will never act like I was. I was still ecstatic. I still think I didn't tear up, obviously, but like I was close just because of the history for the city itself. So it goes at number 4. It was a very long way of me to answer that, but
I'm not a Cubs fan. I did tear up when the Cubs won because my dad, Cubs fan, my grandma, Cubs fan. I was thinking of them. I was on the phone with them or with my dad, listening to the Cubs win the World Series and watching the final out. And so we were watching we had an antenna and they had cable. So there was like a 2-second delay between when it happened. And so I had to wait for them and like hold my tongue and not, celebrate. No. So I had to sit and wait and not spoil it so that he could hear the final out.
Right.
Yeah, great moment there. All that to say, where do you put the Cubs World Series being vacated on this list? At 4? Okay.
Yeah, I put it at 4. That's like I had to explain why, like, as like most people would be like, that's number 1, dude. Like, what the hell? But again, I will never act like I was waiting my entire life to see it or anything like that. I did tear up for the history, and I teared up for the city, and I teared up for my friends who have been lifelong diehard fans their whole lives, and their parents and grandparents and such too. Yeah.
The 4th Chicago sports scenario that would cause Joel the most pain. After 10 years in Chicago, Connor Bedard still hasn't won a Stanley Cup. He signs with the Blues in free agency and wins a cup his first year in St. Louis.
I'm going to pour another glass.
Yep.
Yeah, that's number 1. that's number 1. Whatever Connor Bedard was involved, that was going to be number 1. And the fact that it was going to be number 1 with Bedard anyway, you throw the Blues in there and them winning a cup with him. Nope, that's number 1 easy. Yep, B-Rad's right. Number 1 easy. No way. He's the only one that has more hope than Caleb Williams. It's close, but he's the only one that has a tiny bit more hope there.
Okay, so here's the list as it sits right now. Number 1 is Bedard wins a cup with the Blues after not winning with Chicago. Number 2 is Caleb Williams is worse than Mitch Trubisky.
Those
Number
are automatic.
4 is the Cubs World Series vacated, but Houston gets to keep theirs. 5 was the Bulls 1 win out of the playoffs for the next 10 years. Number 3 for you is Patrick Kane wears a Red Wings jersey to his Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Like I said, I had a lot of fun.
Oh my God.
And I know for a fact that would be no lower than number 2 if you got to put this list together again.
Yeah, that would probably go number 2, and then Caleb Williams would go 3. But in this case, rank the blank. That's the name of the game. Oh God. Oh dear. That one hurt. Oh God.
I have run out of space to put all of that on one slide, so
that's okay. We get the point. We get the gist.
But what I'll do here is I'll leave the template up here for you for the last one that we're going to do tonight.
I got my template.
It's under video games here in the queue. But yeah, I naturally had a lot of fun putting that one together just to see like how could I make you think through this list.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, would that one jump Williams at number 2?
Oh yeah.
Would that one jump Bedard winning a cup with the Blues to number 1?
No. No, because especially if that Hall of Fame ceremony involves also like a cup and he just goes recency bias, like he wins one with Detroit, like it would hurt, but like, wait, I got one. Caleb Williams wins the Super Bowl. Oh God! Oh no! Why are you doing this to me? I just gave you a happy top 5 for Minnesota. Oh my God! Oh, dude, that would be. Oh shit!
Okay, let me back this up and put this one in a bubble. What's worse, Caleb Williams winning a Super Bowl for the Packers or Connor Bedard winning a cup for the Blues? What's worse between those two?
God, it's like picking a most hated child. Oh God. Mark, almost going 2 hours. Hell yeah.
This is going to be a top 5 longest show we've ever done.
It's off season, man. Like we said,
it's our 2 mock drafts, and
this is for the diehards.
Our top 3 longest shows right now are the 2 mock drafts, and then when we did the Kyle Beach news and what that meant for the future of Chicago, which that was an entirely different tone than every other long show we've had. So
yeah,
we don't even necessarily want to acknowledge that one.
Yeah.
Just because of
that was beyond the sport.
That was we needed to have a real session, a real show. That was a painful show in a lot of ways. For both of us, for me, not even being a Hawks fan, that was a painful show to do, but needed to be done.
Yeah,
the mock draft shows way more fun. This show way more fun. So we'll focus on that.
The new diehards we have, welcome to our off season. We have some fun. That one's tough. That one hurts.
I knew that one would hurt, but it would also be a very funny note to end on. I could get you laughing with a couple of those scenarios.
Yeah.
My favorite part of all of that list, though, was leaving Houston's cheating in the World Series.
Yeah,
they don't lose it, but the Cubs do.
What is that?
That was the funny. Like I was like, how can I make this even funnier? Oh, that'll work.
That's
because we all know Houston cheated. Like that,
right.
That's been proven time and time again.
It has.
And they just gave them a slap on the wrist and didn't vacate. If you vacated the Cubs for cheating and then somehow didn't vacate Houston's for cheating, it's just an extra, kick in the knackers.
Literally. All right. This one's fun.
This is our last one for tonight.
It is. And it's generic, but okay. I like to hear your take on it.
Okay.
Yours. We should have ended on yours. That's a good one to end on, but that's okay.
It was, but I mean, now we're in overtime. We're playing extra.
We really are. Generic, but rank these historic sports teams.
Ooh, okay. I like
it. I did my best to do every major sport at least once.
Okay.
But I will already tell you baseball is not included. I don't know. I couldn't think of what the Astro. I also, again, time frame. I tried to keep it while you were alive.
Okay.
Yeah, no, they are all you were. Well, yeah, no, you were alive. I wasn't alive for one of these, but you were.
Okay.
All right. And because I just probably gave that one away, we'll just start off right now with that one. The 90s Bulls.
This is a tricky one because it does kind of depend on.
For the record, it's not your favorite. It's going to go off of
right, like
how incredibly legendary they were, type of thing.
The Bulls team that went 72-10 is a lot different than the Last Dance Chicago Bulls.
Right,
different teams, same result, but the way they got there was dramatically different.
The constant was always MJ.
It was. I'm going to put them at 3.
Respectable. Based on what I have on here. I guess.
I mean,
I can't really say if my hometown
titles, like it's hard to argue with that, but also what the NBA was at that
Mateo's out here
Like-
he's just deep into that whiskey bottle now.
time.
Please tell me you're trolling. He's fine. He just had a gambling problem. No, I have not listened to this. Actually, The Edge. It's a podcast series about the 2015 Astros. I'm gonna have to listen to that. I'd like a little more insight on that. All right. Did you finish your thought, or can I go to the next one?
Yeah, you can go to the next one.
Yeah, really. He switched to moonshine. All right. Next team. What do I go with? Let's go. Actually, I kind of like the order that I randomly put these in. So we'll do this. Again, longer span of time. Mark, you're welcome. Brady's Patriots.
Damn. When I think about sports dynasties in my lifetime,
Mhm.
the late 90s Yankees,
Okay.
the 90s Chicago Bulls, Brady's
And-
Patriots.
Yeah, it's true.
In any particular order you want, those are probably your top three, with maybe if you want to put the Golden State Warriors up there too, those are probably the four.
I almost put both of that. I probably could have done if I really wanted to include every sport. The Yankees are not on here. I definitely could have done
if
that.
You were going to throw a baseball one in there from my lifetime,
it would have been the Yankees. Yeah.
4 World Series titles in a row, and to Game 7 of the 2001 series against the Diamondbacks, they were basically 1 inning away from 5 consecutive World Series. Oh, man,
it's tough. I know.
This kills me. I'm gonna put them number 1.
Wow.
I hate it.
Okay.
I feel dirty for doing it, but I'm gonna put them number 1.
Okay. It's interesting to me. I can't, Mark, I'm sorry. I love you, but I can't agree with number 1. I guess solely because,
well, here's the other thing: is you can't agree because you know the list. You're not ranking these blind. And
no. I'm just even saying I don't think I would have put him on number 1 anyway. Blind. Like if I'm the one that's blind here, because you're not wrong. Again, when I think of dynasties of my lifetime, really, the Patriots are probably outside of the 90s Bulls right there. Like if 1A is the 90s Bulls, for me, 1B is the Patriots. But it's interesting because the teams as a whole at times were are you really that good, or is it just Brady literally carrying you on your back?
They were regular season for show and postseason for dough, better than almost any team I've ever seen. They didn't have to be.
Cyclones fan chiming in. I didn't expect y'all to still be alive after the women's national team match, but I'm pleasantly surprised. Welcome.
Yeah, we're rolling. I did not see a score. What was the final score from the women's national team? Because I've just been locked in on the show here. So
here we go. Mark. New England Patriots football for the longest time set the tone for other sports in Boston to step it up. New England fans are so friggin' spoiled. You really are. And that's a very true statement.
Every Boston team, except for the Bruins,
Dan more
has won multiple championships in my lifetime. The Bruins have at least played in multiple championship series in my lifetime.
Yeah.
Celtics have, I think, just the 2, because they won with the big 3 with Pierce and Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett and Rajon Rondo. They won this year, so that's 2.
B-Red, I'm going to disagree only because I'm Team Brady. I think Belichick, and I think we saw it. Belichick needed Brady way more than Brady needed Belichick.
Belichick could run a defense better than anybody, could not run an offense. And we saw that as soon as Brady was gone. Brady was making the offense click, but they needed Belichick's defense because some of those Patriots offensive teams, like when they had Kevin Falk as their leading running back, when they had Deion Branch as their leading wide receiver, like, and not to take anything away from those two guys because they were pretty good and they got the rings to back it up. Deion Branch, like, you look at the other wide receivers in the NFL at that time, he was not a top 10 wide receiver at any point in his career. He was good. He was reliable, but he wasn't a top 10 guy at any point.
Right.
And ironically, the best receiver he ever had was Randy Moss. That team went 18-0 and then lost to the Giants in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well,
but that's the best receiver Brady ever had.
Right. And the other thing I think about too is like Julian Edelman and his breakout. Like that year,
Edelman, good,
I remember seeing like
never
I was like
a top 10 receiver.
The beginning of his main breakout year, I was like, who the hell is Julian Edelman? The Patriots don't have anyone to throw to.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. Like
Julian Edelman, Wes Welker, like all these guys.
Welker. Yeah. Okay, so
when his starting running back was Danny Woodhead.
Yeah. All right, so here's how we're looking. You got Brady's Patriots at 1 and 3 is the 90s Bulls. Next up, we're going to stick with football since we're talking about it. And we're going to go recency. Mahomes Chiefs.
Dang.
It's recent. That story has yet to be, or that book has yet to be closed because that story is still being written, but it's already to the tune of 3 Super Bowl rings in, what was it, 4 years, 5 years?
I'm going to put them at number 5.
Wow.
But,
actually, no, that's fair. Only because, like I said,
because they don't have the term that the others from these first 2 that we've seen on this list, they don't have the term that the other ones have. Mm-hmm. Still very good. Still your Super Bowl favorites coming into the season. Mm-hmm. Like you look at how they started last year and everybody's freaking out. Like, is this team even going to make the playoffs? And then they go and win the Super Bowl. And then they got better this offseason.
Right.
Like that's still your favorite by far. Easily. For the Super Bowl for next year too. Like, how can they not be? So,
wow, Mateo goes 1.
So yeah, that's
I can't disagree because like I said, the book ain't finished yet, but the way it's written right now. Oh, dude, yeah, right. Yeah, like you said, from a betting standpoint, they were literal underdogs and won the whole thing. Like, I wish I would have put money on them at the beginning of the year to win the Super Bowl. Yeah, B-Red agrees as well. All right.
Can you take this banner down for just a moment and then pop it right back up? Go ahead, see something here. There we go.
Oh, sorry.
You're
good. How dare you change my grammar?
That's what I do for a living, man.
That's fair, actually. All right. Fine.
I write and edit for a living.
I respect it. All right. Oh, Dan. I'm a troll.
I know you are.
The 2010s Blackhawks.
Pew! Pew! Pew!
That was good. That was pretty good. I actually was going to use them last, hoping that you would end up putting them at 1 somehow because you used everything else. So now I'm not going to use them last because only what's left.
I mean, honestly, them over the Chiefs, fair. Them behind the Bulls and the Patriots, fair. 3 cups in 6 years, it's good. Yeah. But both the Bulls and the Patriots won more. So,
I mean, yes, obviously. That is fair. I had fun with that one. I was like, because I couldn't think of a 5th one and I didn't want to do baseball. I was like, what's a good one? Oh, I know what I'm putting there.
And honestly, had you done baseball and had you done the 90s Yankees, I would have put them at 2 and not changed this list at all.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, would you change this list at all right now anyway?
Well, it depends. Let's see what number 2 is.
Well, so number 2, something tells me I don't think you're going to change it. Number 2 is you guessed it, the 80s Oilers.
I wasn't alive for the 80s Oilers.
I know. I said you were alive for most of them.
I thought you said I was alive for all of them.
I did. I'm sorry. So yeah, one of them you were not alive for. My bad. I mean, Gretzky, Coffey, Grant Fuhr, Messier, Yari Curry, like that team.
It's hard not to put them in the top 2 here. Yeah, I can be content with that. I can leave this list as is and be satisfied with that.
Like the top 3 here for me is a coin flip. Like my hometown bias maybe puts the Bulls at 1, but take that out, it's a coin flip for me.
Mm-hmm. But again, that Bulls team went 6-0 in championships, so I
get it. So did the Oilers, right?
5.
Well, no, but I meant they 5-0 though. They never lost.
Right.
Which
only 5.
And there's a theme there. Same thing with the Hawks. They went 3-0.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was a generic one, but I had fun. I wanted to try and get you with the 2010 Hawks. It didn't work out. Oh man, it is one of our longest shows.
Ooh, I think it's officially top 3 now, behind our 2 mock draft shows.
Mark's
we might
right.
have had a season preview show that was up there too.
Mark's right. There are 5 viewers, but only 3 likes. No. That math doesn't math.
We got to pump those numbers up.
Those are rookie numbers. We aren't rookies anymore. This is our third off-season show.
Yeah, our third year of off-season.
Third year of off-season. My bad. Now the whiskey kicked in.
Etiquette. Yeah, I'm on glass number 3 here, so you gotta catch up.
No, I'm one glass that was about not 2 fingers, but 1.5, I'd say, of 122 proof whiskey. I think we're all right.
We're rolling.
I am working from home tomorrow, though. So,
are we doing a show next week, or are we off next week?
Vote. No. Stay tuned to our socials.
Yeah, we'll coordinate that and we'll figure it out.
We can come up with some more fun stuff. This is what we do. We play games unless there's some really significant news we got to talk about today. Really was only the Joe Pavelski retirement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
the Columbus Blue Jackets are closer to getting a coach.
Closer.
They are interviewing Dean Evison this week, who I have said for quite a few weeks now. I was like, Evison to Columbus.
Mark's onto something here.
Okay.
We did this during the regular season, but it's a need in the off season. Well, at least for me. You don't have to. I don't really know if you do it much, but a gummy session.
So here's the problem.
I know it's illegal, and
I live in North Carolina.
Yes.
North Carolina's laws for mind-altering substances, alcohol included, they just now made it so that you can have alcohol in the airport to go, like as you're waiting for your flight. You couldn't get an alcoholic beverage and wait for your, like you could if you were at the bar. You could not get a cocktail to go. Happy hours are still illegal in North Carolina. You can't get it like a 2-for-1 drink special. That's illegal.
Man.
So the idea of doing a gummy session.
The South sucks.
While entertaining is not realistic.
Yeah. Gummy night would be baller. So you know what? That will be the next show. We will stay tuned to the socials when that will either be next week. It will absolutely be the following week.
You can do a gummy session. I
know you cannot. I understand.
Yeah. But one of us needs to be competent enough to at least operate the system here.
Well, I was competent enough last time. Right?
Were you?
Yeah. Maybe.
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 Right.
Stay tuned to the social. I'm gonna say it'll be next week, but just we'll check our schedules. But I think it's gonna be next week, Tuesday.
Sounds good. All right, everybody, that's it for tonight. He's Joel.
Thanks for staying with us for 2 hours. Hold on, we got 15 seconds, Dan. End it right at 2 hours. What can we do?
Well, I still got to roll the close too, and that's going to take us past. So we're going to clear the 2-hour mark. Thanks everybody for tuning in and joining us and hanging out tonight. He's Joel. I'm Dan. Bottoms up. Good night.